Everyone, welcome everyone to the daily news analysis of 28th of October 2023. तो इम्पोर्टेंट आर्टिकल आज की हिंदी न्यूज़पेपर से देखते हैं. Canal holds back its report on crime bills, then dark pattern sales by airlines online agent deemed cybercrime mystery trial. A China-India partnership is vast global potential, then pursue all legal political options in Qatar case, says experts. 80% of India's urban population has access to high-speed internet, according to PM. Then Vikram kicked it up 2 tons of lunar dust, says scientist. And Mizoram has highest cancer incidence in India, finds study. तो पहला आर्टिकल है पैनल होल्ड्स Panel holds back its report on crime bill. The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Home Affairs postponed its option of a draft report on three bills seeking to replace the existing criminal laws after pursuit from the opposition parties seeking more time to examine it. According to sources, the English version of the draft report was circulated just last week and the Hindi version was sent to members of the parliamentary panel only on Thursday evening, just hours before the adoption of the report was slated at Friday's meeting of panel members. Congress MP Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, Digvijay Singh, along with Dravido Munnetra Kajargam MP NR Elango have so far filed dissent notes. The sources said they are demanding several changes in Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023 that will replace the Indian Penal Code and Bharatiya Nagarika Suraksha Sanhita 2023 that will replace the Criminal Procedure Code CRPC. More dissent notes are expected to follow. One key point of contention: the Hindi nomenclature of the bill has not been accepted in the draft reports. The panel's report states that since the text of the bill is in English, it does not violate provisions of Article 348 of the Constitution. The panel's draft report has accepted a host of suggestions on the Bharatiya Suraksha 2023 that is meant to replace the Indian Evidence Act. There is unanimity on that version of the draft report. The panel began its consultation on the three bills on August 24 with a presentation by Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bhalla. It has held 20 meetings on the three bills according to the opposition member. This is highly inadequate considering the scale and scope of the bill. Sources said a few minutes after Friday's meeting began, the panel's chairman and BJP MP Brijlal told the members that the draft report slated to be adopted at the meetings as per the circulated agenda would be withheld. However, he did not state the reason for doing so. Members said this drew sharp criticism from the two Trinamool Congress MPs, Derek O'Brien and Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar, who pointed out that they had come to Delhi leaving Lakshmi Puja, which is on Saturday, in order to attend the meeting. In fact, the Trinamool demanded that the committee seek an extension of at least 3 months to submit its report on the bill. It urged the panel to stop bulldozing these bills for short-term electoral gains. Hurrying through the bills would amount to mocking the process of legislative scrutiny, the two MPs said. Speaking at Friday's meeting, Mr. Elangus raised three key points according to the sources. The bills, he said, need extensive consultation with the government and stakeholders in the state. He once again reiterated his criticism of the Hindi nomenclature of the bill, which he said was exclusionary for a large section of the country. Next day, dark pattern sales by airlines online agents deemed cybercrimes. Following complaint about practices by airlines and online travel agents that entail tricking consumers into making unintended purchases, such as paying for seats while booking flight tickets, which one government official called a cybercrime. The Ministry of Civil Aviation has asked the low-cost carrier Indigo to rectify its website. The rap for the airline comes days before the meeting of the Consumer Affairs Minister to discuss such complaints from the air travelers to be held on November 9. Attendees will include representatives from the Ministry of Civil Aviation, airlines, online travel agents, and NGOs representing consumers. The agenda of the meeting is to discuss complaints about airlines extending the charges on seat selection to all seats, incidents of passengers denied boarding despite a valid ticket, etc. Unfair practices. Consumer Affairs Secretary Rohit Kumar Singh said a dark pattern is one where an entity nudges consumers to buy products they did not intend to, which is an unfair trading practice and can constitute a cybercrime. He added that in the current online environment there seemed to be a systematic practice of fooling consumers. The ministry received nearly 10,000 such complaints through the National Consumer Helpline over the last 8 to 9 months. A cursory analysis of airlines' website, apps, and online portals by the Hindu showed that such dark patterns were widely prevalent. Courage sent to Indigo's SpiceJet and Make My Trip went unanswered till the time of going to press. Manipulating seat selection. For instance, Indigo's website deploys a technique known as false urgency to give consumers booking an air ticket the impression that they have to pay an extra fee of 99 rupees to 1500 to buy a seat to complete the purchase, as all free seats are shown as unavailable. Sometimes there will be 4 or 5 seats available, but they are relegated to the bottom of the aircraft cabin and can be harder to locate and navigate to on the web page. While passenger can hit the skip button at the end of the seat selection page, they are not informed in a transparent manner that free seats will be auto-assigned to them if they do not wish to pay the extra sum. The Indigo on Indigo's mobile application, even the option to skip is played in the top right corner and displayed in a tiny font. Such a practice is also known as interface interference, where the website design highlights a certain specific information and deliberately obscure other information. Ministry of Civil Aviation sources said on Thursday, this is the design of Indigo website template and there is no malafide intent. They added that the airline has now been directed to provide a clear option for auto-assigned seats. नेक्स्ट एडिटोरियल का पर्सन है मिनिस्ट्रियल ट्रायल. India must leverage ties with Qatar to free its citizens facing death penalty. The death sentence handed down by a Qatari court on Thursday to 8 Indians reportedly accused of espionage is indeed deeply shocking, as the Ministry of External Affairs described in a statement, and the situation is now a major test of the Narendra Modi government's diplomatic skills. The trial was ordered in secrecy with scant information on the charges and evidence against the former Indian Navy servicemen arrested in August 2022, despite pleas from their families and Indian diplomats in Doha. Qatar has not explained why it has not divulged details of the case. Even the judgment has yet to be shared with New Delhi. Leaked reports suggest that the men have been accused of sharing secret information pertaining to the stealth submarine program they worked on with a third country, a charge their families have denied visits by Indian officials to Qatar to plead for leniency and transparency have been of no avail. While this case has some parallel to the case of former naval commander Jadab, who is on death row too in Pakistan, the difference is that India's ties with Qatar have been relatively better. Apart from strategic and defense cooperation agreements, India sources 40% of its LNG need from Qatar. India is also Qatar's third biggest source of imports, particularly raw material for construction and fresh food items. Fortunately, these supplies continued despite the Gulf blockade against Qatar in 2017, which should have counted for some goodwill towards India. In addition, 7 lakh Indian expatriates are an integral part of Qatar's institutions, industry, and workforce. A rift in ties which a sentence like this is bound to engender will be the detriment of both countries, and India must make this clear to Qatar. The government must waste no time in charting the next step to ensure the Indians are given the best possible support to in an appeal. Apart from the legal appeals process and diplomatic legal legwork, channels to the Qatari leadership should be activated at the highest level, including the Prime Minister if necessary. A case must be made for clemency and commuting the sentence to jail terms that could even be served out in India if the men are indeed found guilty in the appeal process, notwithstanding report that notwithstanding reports that seek to tie the verdict to more geopolitical considerations, including perceived Qatari differences with India over its policy on Israel and Palestine. In the current conflict, the government must demonstrate that the lives of the men are indeed a priority for their country, and for a government that claims a policy of no Indian left behind. The next is China. A China-India partnership with vast global potential. The crisis in Ukraine continues unabated, even as a new conflict has flared up in West Asia. Traditional and non-traditional security threats are interlocked, and global deficits in peace, development, security, and governance are growing. What has happened to the world? But how should we respond? These are profound questions that have been raised by the world, by history, and by the means, and challenge mankind to search for answers. An opportunity for China and India as Asian civilizations that have been living side by side for thousands of years. China and India share common thoughts on the future and destiny of mankind. The Chinese people have cherished the vision of a world of fairness and justice for the common good since ancient times. Ancient Indian literature also records the motto of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. In 1950, China and India jointly initiated a five principle of peaceful coexistence, which has turned into basic norms of governing international relations. Two largest developing countries and emerging market economies, each with a population over 1 billion. China and India are both at a crucial stage of development and revitalization. So they have the responsibility, the ability, and the opportunity of to once again illuminate the path forward for mankind with Oriental wisdom. The answer China's President Xi Jinping gives out is to build a global community of a shared future. A white paper China recently released titled A Global Community of shared future. China's proposal and action systematically lays out the theoretical base, practice, and the development of that over the past decades. It advocates forging greater synergy to achieve lasting peace, developing a conducive environment for common security, instilling greater confidence in common development, providing sustainable driving forces for mutual learning among civilizations, and taking more actions to protect the ecology. The vision of a global community of a shared future has been included in United Nations General Assembly resolution for 6 consecutive years and incorporated in the resolution and declarations of multilateral mechanisms such as the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and BRICS. It has won the international community's understanding and support, especially among developing countries, and has a clear path forward. Vision points. These are key to correct directions of economic globalization, jointly build an open world economy that reflects the demands and represents the interests of the developing countries. Unilateralism, protectionism, decoupling, and the zero-sum game of the winner takes all should be rejected. Follow the right path of peaceful development. The world needs peace just like people need air and sunshine. The trend today is the pursuit of peace, development, cooperation, and win-win results. The old path of colonialism and homo-hegemonism leads to a dead end, and those who follow it will pay a heavy price. Only by working together to pursue peace, safeguard peace, and share peace can countries achieve their development goal and make greater contribution to the world, foster a new type of international relationship by building a global community of a shared future. Emerging countries and establishing powers can avoid falling into the two-sided trap and build the common ground and effective and achieve common development for different civilizations and countries with different social systems. Countries should uphold the principle of mutual respect, equity, and justice, the mutually beneficial cooperation, so as to build both a broader and a deeper global partnership based on equality, openness, and cooperation practiced through multilateralism. Building cliques in the name of multilateralism is no more than bloc politics. Seeking supremacy in the name of multilateralism is still unilateral thinking. Selective multilateralism is practicing double standards. The world should be fair and free from domineering practices. There is only one system for the world, which is the international system with the United Nations at its core. That is, there is only one order for the world, which is the international order based on the international law. There is only one set of rules for the world, which is the basic norms governing international relations based on the purposes and principles of the United Nations Charter. Promote the common values of peace, development, equity, justice, democracy, and freedom of humanity. There is no single model of democracy that is universally applicable for less a separate one. Promoting the common values of humanity is about seeking common ground while preserving differences, harmony without uniformity, and fully respecting the diversity of civilization and the right of all countries to independently choose their social system and development paths. China's contribution over the past decade. China has contributed its strength to building a global community of a shared future with a firm conviction and solid actions. The Belt and Road Initiative has become a popular global public good and a cooperation platform provided by China to the world. The Global Development Initiative, Global Security Initiative, and Global Civilization Initiative point to the direction of human progress across three dimensions and have evolved into a crucial cornerstone of our building a global community of a shared future, providing comprehensive solution to the challenges confronting humanity. While a third of the global population, China and India are natural partners in building a global community of a shared future. China and India could jointly work hand in hand with global development, security, civilization initiatives to demonstrate the common will and resolution of the global south countries to build an open, inclusive, clean, and beautiful world that enjoys the lasting peace, universal security, and common prosperity. Then I pursue all legal political options in Qatar case, says experts. A day after the death sentence was handed down by the Qatari court to eight Indians, says Ministry of External Affairs awaits the detailed judgment in the case. Experts said India must pursue all efforts, including political appeals at the highest level to ensure naval veterans reportedly accused of espionage are brought back to India. Multiple options existed, says Syed Akbaruddin, former Indian envoy to the United Nations and an expert in the Gulf region, pointing out that apart from the legal appeals process, a final decision on the implementation of the judicial outcome could be made by Qatar's head of state. He also pointed to a 2015 agreement on the transfer of sentenced prisoners in case India's appeal for clemency is accepted. In short, there is enough space to address the sensitive but unprecedented issue in a manner that preserves the trajectory of bilateral ties. Mr. Akbaruddin Akbaruddin added in March 2015 during the visit of Qatari Foreign Minister Dr. Khalid bin Mohammed Al Attiyah to the to India. One of the agreements is extended between the two countries was on transfer of sentenced persons. Under this agreement, Indian prisoners prisoners convicted in Qatar can be brought to India to serve the remaining part of their sentence. Similarly, Qatari citizens convicted in India can be sent to their home country to serve their sentence. This agreement would enable the sentenced person to be near their families and would help in the process of their social rehabilitation. And the MEA had stated a year later, Prime Minister Narendra Modi travelled to Doha for a bilateral visit where several other agreements were signed and also met Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani in 2019. Under this 2015 agreement, convicted individual can be repatriated to serve out the sentence at home. Sentence of Indian Navy veteran must be commuted or pardon obtained, and this agreement invoked former Naval Chief Admiral Arun Prakash, who has consistently been raising questions about the case, said on social media on Friday. He also asked whether due process was followed or whether the eight retired naval personnel had been properly defended during the secret trial. Defense pact. According to some experts, India could also leverage other part of its strategic ties with Qatar to pursue its case for the man. In 2018, India and Qatar signed a defense cooperation agreement during the visit of then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh to Doha in November 2008, which has been extended every 5 years. The last time in November 2018, the agreement has not yet been renewed. An official source without elaborating further said a possible indication of an opportunity for high-level negotiation in the near future. India also offers training slot in its defense institution to Qatari military personnel and regularly participate in the biennial Doha International Maritime Defense Exhibition and Conference. DIMDEX in Qatar. Others stressed the importance of working behind the scenes with bilateral consultation at senior level. This is not a matter for public discussions of or jingoism, as we have seen in the recent case of Canada. The issue involved are sensitive and stakes are high given the number of Indians working there, said former Ambassador Talmiz Ahmad, who has authored a book on West Asia. Apart from avenues of judicial review, we must recognize that above all there is the royal family that attaches a very high value to their relationship with India, and a royal pardon could still be hoped for. Mr. Ahmed added, pointing out that this is an exceptional and rare case involving espionage by Indians anywhere in the Gulf region. 80% of India's urban population has access to high-speed internet, according to Prime Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday held a telecom operators process in spreading 5G coverage in urban centers, saying that 80% of Indian urban population now had access to the high-speed technology within a year. of 5G launch. About 4 lakh 5G base station have been built in India, he said at the 7th India Mobile Congress event here. Improving internet connectivity and speed is not just about ranking and numbers. The Prime Minister said that after the mentioning India's network jumping global mobile data speed ranking, improving internet connectivity and speed also increases ease of living. It becomes easier for students to connect with his teacher online. The patient has a seamless experience while connecting to his doctor for telemedicine, and tourists can easily use online maps to find a location. Not a stand or on rollout, we are not only rapidly expanding 5G in India but also moving towards becoming a leader in the field of 6G. Mr. Modi said, referring to research efforts in India to standardize the next generation of telecommunication in a debate at the controversy surrounding the 2G scam. He said, what happened here during the 2G may be the new generation will not know. 4G expanded in 4 period, but there is not a single strain on that technology's rollout. The Prime Minister pointed to a rise in domestic electronics manufacturing as a success, and pointed to giant Apple and Samsung's smartphone assembly in India as an Apple. He also cited Google's plan to assemble its flagship Pixel lineup in India. Today, we are exporting about 2 lakh crore rupees in electronics manufacturing, he remarked. Union Minister of Electronics and Information Technology Ashwini Vaishnav told reporters on the silence of the event that even the component manufacturing ecosystem was taking shape in India, with camera module for Apple coming together in India soon. The value addition is increasing rapidly, Mr. Vaishnav said, citing the fact that Google designed semiconductor chips that go into its Pixel smartphone in India. Mr. Modi made a pitch to secure the electronics supply chain and a likely reference to Chinese dominance in electronics assembly and manufacturing. It is necessary to discuss how we can make the democratic societies of the world safer from troublemaker, he warned. When Vikram kicked up 2 tons of lunar dust, says the scientist. Chandrayaan 3's lander module Vikram has generated an ejecta halo on the lunar surface while making the historic touchdown on the south pole of the moon on August 23. According to a new study, Vikram raised lunar dust and generated a bright patch around itself when it landed on the moon. Chandrayaan 3 results on August 23, 2023. As it descended, the Chandrayaan 3 lander module generated a spectacular ejecta halo of lunar material. Scientists from NRSC ISRO estimate that about 2.06 tons of lunar epiregolith were rejected and displaced over an area of 108.4 meters square around the landing site. The ISRO posted on X. These findings were published in an article titled "Characterization of Ejecta Halo on the Lunar Surface Around Chandrayaan-3 Vikram Lander Using UHRC Imagery" in Journal of Indian Society of Remote Sensing on October 26. The Vikram lander of the Chandrayaan-3 mission landed near the south pole of the moon on August 23 during the action of descent stage thruster and the consequent landing. A significant amount of lunar superficial epiregolith material not ejected, resulting in a reflectance anomaly or ejecto halo states. The abstract of the article authored by the Swati Singh, Prakash Chauhan, Priyam Roy, Tapas R. Martha, and Ishwar C. Das from ISRO's National Remote Sensing Centers NRSC, Hyderabad. Images compared. The authors added that they compared the pre and post landing high resolution panoramic, sorry, Unchromatic imagery from orbiter high-resolution camera UHRC of the Chandrayaan-2 orbiter acquired hours before and after the landing event and characterized this eject halo as an integral bright patch surrounding the lander. India became the first nation to touch down in the moon's polar region when Chandrayaan-3's lander module with the rover in its belly successfully made a soft landing on lunar surface. The lander and the rover went to sleep after the end of the one lunar day, that is 14 Earth days. Then आज का जो लास्ट आर्टिकल है, मिजोरम has highest cancer incidence rate in India finds study. Despite being the country's second least populated state, Mizoram exhibits the highest cancer incidence rate in India. The latest evidence from an 18-year trend study notes a consistent uptick in cancer incidence and mortality in the state, with stomach cancer emerging as the primary cause of cancer-related death among men, while lung cancer plays a parallel role among women. Cancer incidence and mortality is also growing among the younger generation in Mizoram, which may stem from the static lifestyle and the dietary patterns prevalent in the endogamous tribal population, potentially contributing to a genetic predispori- predisposition. According to the study titled Cancer Awareness, Diagnosis and Treatment Needs in Mizoram in India, evidence from 18 years trends 2003-2020, which was recently published in the Lancet Regional Health Southeast Asia. The study notes that the escalation in mortality rate could be attributed to a dearth of specialized diagnostics facilities and skilled human resources treatment strategies guided by the genomic research and transportation challenges. For the study, data was extracted from the Mizoram population-based Cancer Registry (PBCR), which was supported by ICMR. So, friends, this is all for today, and we will meet from tomorrow onwards with new news article from the Hindu. So, thank you all.